So then, usually I don't do videos just like this, sort of just popping on here and talking, but I thought it's worth it today because I'm quite proud of this new sort of table design I've made. Using the previous one here, I used to have that one up here for quite a while. It was black and I made it about 4 years ago, I'd say. That's worked really well, but for a long time I wanted to sand it down and make it wood. Affects everything else sort of looking a bit different. And this back door here was the only thing that was left sort of in the old style. So what I've done, decided to go down the sort of avenue on my days off, to go down the sort of hand-built tables, maybe start making a few other products for the back of the campers as well. The way this works, basically all you need to do is just using this like the camera almost just fell down then as you saw. Okay, right, so basically, sorry about the shadow, raw wood rather than black. At the moment we've got these sort of prototype style hinges and different bolts. It's not completely perfect, but this is number one of the Boris built tables. Quite unique in that way, if you see it like that. Using marine parts here, all stainless where I can. I've got a cleat up here and using this marine rope here, very thin. It's quite nice to be able to have the locking mechanism like this and the support for when the table's down all in one. So what you do, just undo it like that, it comes down and sits like that. I specifically bought this sort of twine as it's not got very much stretch, which is nice. You obviously don't want to be putting your pots and pans and cooker and burner down in here and maybe a few litres of water and it to break or bend or sort of flop around like that. So this is nicely supported, goes down and underneath as you can see there and holds it all the way across, which is nice. It does have a bit of flex, but it's really nothing. I can properly push down on there and that gives a little bit of movement, but when you're actually cooking on there, I'm sure that one would have been just the same. It's quite neat, so it just goes up into here and by being 2 panels now, what I used to do is just have this backboard come down and it left the carpet. You've got the wood protecting the panel behind there, which is good, and also it's a lot more sturdy because you've got just 4 screws to screw it on, which makes it a lot easier, which is nice. So this is the previous one you probably recognise, and it has done me very well. I was actually quite surprised how well it's done. Some nice non-slip there from a friend of mine, and yeah, you can see that there's no backing to it, so that literally just was screwed with loads of screws into the back of the door there, and that held it on. It came down and uses again marine sort of wire there to hold onto the back using all of this. And as you can see, I don't like the look of this effectively. I painted it twice. It's using really terrible hinges. The screws are rusted. These are just brackets for like building work. This sticks into your finger every time. This was locked every time. The best thing about it was the non-stick. That was fantastic. That worked really well. But to be honest, all these complaints, it actually has served me very well, and that's why it hasn't been changed yet. And effectively doesn't need to be changed. I could sell this, but I definitely don't want to because it's handmade. But the biggest thing I was surprised about was people actually asking me where I bought this from. I know maybe half of the people out there will think, okay, you obviously made it, it looks terrible, and then other people actually ask me where I got it from. I think it's more about like the utility of it. People really like the idea of it, so it gave me the idea to improve on the design, make it look a little bit nicer and come to something like this. Again, this is not finished. I will have a nicer one, and then in the future we'll be able to show you the final design, maybe slightly darker stain on the wood, a different non-slip, maybe like a cork, or maybe just raw wood if people would prefer it like that. But this is a sort of nice velvety material, and it seems to be working really well. I'm not going to make a cup of tea on it yet because my driveway, as I mention every time, is about 45 degrees. So that's not perfect, but there, it's quite nice. I think the thing I'm most proud of at the moment is that the locking mechanism is incorporated in the sort of support system, which is really nice. And that's all you need to do.